All right, so let me just do my intro. Greetings, YouTubers. It is your illustrious Lady Richmond Full here. And I am here with the one and only Ricco Fajardo.
Yo, 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 yo. What's up, everybody?
Thank you so much for joining me.
Absolutely. It's my absolute pleasure to be hanging out. I wish we could be playing video games, playing some video games instead. But that's okay. I'm happy to talk.
I have been streaming on Twitch recently, so yeah.
What have you been streaming?
The game I am playing right now is Batman Arkham Knight. So,
oh shoot, you haven't played through the Arkham series?
I actually have. The first game I ever played was Arkham Knight, and then a couple months ago, I finally got the first two games.
It's good, man.
It's fun. Honestly, Arkham Knight is my favorite just because of the gliding mechanic through the city.
Yes. Yep. That's what everyone said. They're like, I can move through Gotham all
it's a great little mechanic and I love it.
I know no one will know what we were talking about before, but right before we started recording, we started talking about PS5 and Miles Morales.
Yes.
I'm like, oh, I love Spider-Man.
Yep. All right. So tell us about some of the characters you have played.
Let's see. Man, I'm looking at my phone. So most notably, got Mirio Togata from My Hero Academia. Yes, reference the shirt, the power shirt, which is exciting because we're coming to the next season pretty soon. Some really exciting stuff's going to happen then. Taiju Oki and Dr. Stone, Benny Maru from That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. I'm looking at my shelf right now. God in the Side Night and Happiness show. Hinomaru Ushio in Hinomaru Sumo. What else? I'm just looking around my room right now for stuff that I that I played. Gosh, it's been a while. Those are kind of like the highlights. There's a few characters in tertiary characters in Genshin Impact. You might recognize my voice from there. What else? Corvus and Paladins, Achilles and Smite. Gosh, yeah, a lot of different things, y'all. It's been a long storied career of anime and video games. So yeah.
All right, what was your first role?
First role in what?
Just
like
ever.
In life?
Just
ever? Let's see. Cop 2 in my high school production of what was it called? It wasn't Rumors. Was it Rumors? Oh, it was Rumors. Rumors was my first let's
say first voiceover role.
Oh, I see. Oh, you're trying to be like, man, it's whack as no, I'm kidding. No. You said first. No.
Okay, that's my fault. I'd be more specific. First voiceover role.
Oh, first voiceover role. Let me see. That was a commercial role I did for Michael's, where I played a dad, and I was like, "Come on, honey, let's go get some arts and crafts at Michael's Arts and Crafts." So that's my first voiceover role. Were you talking about anime?
I mean, that's fine too. Someone find that commercial. Someone find it and send it to me.
It's literally on my agency website, I think, still forever ago. But yes, without kind of just griefing you this whole time. The first anime role I played was in. Oh, wait, hang on. Is that my Kit Kat? Yeah. What's up, Ollie?
Kitty.
Sorry, I heard the mowing. What's up, Ollie? Anyway. Sorry, they're yowling. What's going on? Oh my God, can you hear them?
I can't.
What's up? Oh, Bell. Hey, Bell. You okay? What's wrong, Bell?
Special guest appearance.
That's right. Anyway, this
so
is Bell. Her heart is racing.
Oh,
something might be up. Are you okay, Bell? Something happened out there? They freak you out?
She's pretty tiny. How old is she?
Couple years.
Wow.
She's the small. She had a couple kittens and why are you scared, Bell? I can literally feel her heart.
Poor baby.
Yeah. You mind if we pause for just 1 second? I'm just gonna quickly make sure the guys are okay.
Yeah, sure, no problem.
Come on, Bell.
I can always edit. That's not a problem.
Yeah, apologies. Give me just one second.
Okay.
I did not forget where we were at. First anime role. Anyway. First anime role. Let's see. First anime role ever. That was in a show called Bigata H Kai. I played a student in that show. Brittany Karbowski, I believe, was the lead.
Yes.
And what did she say? She says something like the second anime line, something like, I'm like, hey, Yamada, can I take your picture? And she's like, well, what do you mean? Like, for what? And then of course she's very pervy. So she imagines me like, doing dirty things with her picture. And like, oh, you're gross. Get out of here. And I'm like, ah, but of course I had to perform what she imagined I would be doing. So yeah, that was interesting. And I remember Zach Bolton and Chris George were like, welcome to anime. So that was interesting. But yep, that was my first role.
Have you had a role that took a toll on you emotionally?
I'm going to assume most of these are like anime focused.
Yes.
So let's see. Role that took a toll on me emotionally. Not really. Like as an actor, I tend to, I've been doing this long enough. I don't feel like anything like takes a toll necessarily. I suppose one that really kind of was difficult to sort of like reconcile and figure out and shake off sometimes, just because there's so much like hatred in it. Kyousuke Munakata in Danganronpa was a character that I got directed very heavily by my buddy Chris Bevins, a wonderful director, and it was still kind of earlier in my career, my first like sort of villain that I played. And the note I kept getting from him was, you gotta be a dick, be a dick, like you gotta be mean. And it was like, I'm like, I don't know what that means, dude. Like, and of course I went to acting school for a long time, so it's like, yeah, people are mean, but people are mean because of what, right? Mm-hmm. So like we had to really parse it out. And the great thing about Bevins is he's like just loves talking about lore and stuff. So like it's actually a great fit for me to like work on a role like this with him, where it's this person who's been sort of let down by the world and all the people close to him, and ultimately gets betrayed just horribly, but just has this chip on his shoulder, but has the best of intentions. It's like a good guy, bad guy kind of deal. Or like, I guess, what do you call it? Anti-hero, I guess, in a way. So yeah, that one was really challenging. And I guess when you say like took a toll, I remember like meditating on it, and I was pretty tired, emotionally. Because you said emotional toll, right?
Yes.
Yes. Emotionally, that one was kind of like, oh man, it's hard to be so angry all the time. Like that sucks.
Okay. Which character you've played do you identify the most with, and why?
What character do I identify the most with, and why? Well, let's see. The first one that came to mind was Haruhiro from Grimgar of Ashes and Illusions. He plays a thief. He's a thief class in this isekai RPG world. Not that I'm a thief, but like I usually play rogues. In essence, like a rogues, if you aren't familiar with RPGs, their function in a party is to usually be in the shadows, and they do all the sneaky things that like unlock the doors and gets the party into the next spot, or maybe like uses their charisma to like charm the barmaid and some information or something like that, or lift a key from the king's chest and figure out the treasure and all that, or most importantly backstab fools and annihilate them before the fight begins, kind of end the fight before it starts. But they also get into a lot of trouble. So I feel like the rogues are kind of my aesthetic. I like that lifestyle in that, at least in the RPG world. So Haruhiro, when he first enters the world of Grimgar, he doesn't know anyone. He's pretty introverted actually, and has a lot of inner monologue going on. And I identify a lot with that. I was a very introverted kid, not nearly as outgoing as I am now, or well-spoken for that matter. Thank goodness for all the knock on wood, like reading great writers' text and performing it really helps you find the right words to say. But I would say the reason why I identify with Haruhiro is because he didn't really have any friends at first. He kind of just fell into a group of people who weren't really that were like him, and that they also felt lost, but then they kind of grew together and became strong together. There's a lot of pain, but also a lot of joy that they experienced together. So really fun fact about that show is that all of the people that in Haru's party are like, I consider to be close friends of mine now. Like Chihiro is played by my good friend Sarah Wiedenheft. Justin Briner, who plays Midoriya in My Hero Academia, is my healer in that show. His name's Monato. Jared Green, just a wonderful human being, is our tank, Monato. I'm sorry, not Monato. It's Mogzil. I just like Monato. Yeah, Yume is the archer. That's our ranged wonderful scene. One of my favorite scenes I've played in anime with Genie Torado. Just a great group of people who and then Ranta, who eventually was played by my buddy Cliff Chapin, plays Bakugo in My Hero Academia, originally by Orion Pitts. But all of these people became like friends of mine, and I didn't know them before the show. So this is one of those rare occasions where you work on a show, a voiceover show, like anime specifically, where you never meet the people in person. I eventually became friends with all of them. So yeah, it felt like art imitated life a bit like that.
Awesome. All right. What did you enjoy most about playing Kareem Flame, and do you wish you had his ability?
What I enjoy most about Kareem Flam is the way he spoke. He's very interesting vernacular, the way he speaks. My buddy Aaron Dismuke adapted the text for that, and I'm so grateful because he's a wonderful writer. So, obviously when you first meet him and he's talking to the pro tag, he's like, hang on. Someone here? These cats, dude. They keep like moving stuff around, and I have my gate on, so I can't hear. Anyway, Kareem Flam. I know you can edit this. Kareem Flam. His style of speaking is so interesting. So like the first time you meet him, I think he's talking to Shinra, and he goes like, are you crap? You crappy? You crap? Like, and he keeps employing the words like in different ways, but like the same word. And then Shinra's like, I'm gonna fight someone. He's like, wait, I think you're just saying crap. Like, I can't quite understand what he means. So and then he says, one of my favorite lines, and I sign this on people's prints usually, is yours is an ass like any other. You're an ass like any other ass. And yours is an ass like any others. But I'm like, why am I talking about this kid's ass? Anyway, man, it's funny. And he's the only ice boy in the fire show. In Fire Force, he has thermoacoustic refrigeration, which he can turn fire into ice. I don't necessarily wish I had that power, because it sounds like a lot of work to tune your guitar and trumpet in this case or a bell to sonically hit fire and turn it into ice. It'd be cool, like a great party trick, but I doubt there would be many opportunities for like me to save the day by turning things to ice. And also, by the way, I don't know if your house is on fire, right? And I like turn it to ice, would that just like kill you? I don't know, like I don't know what that, I don't be responsible
very
for
good
that.
Question.
I'll put a TBD on whether or not I actually want that power. I know most of y'all are like, yes, take it, but like, I don't know.
All right. Of all the anime worlds you have dubbed for, which one would you like to live in the most?
All the anime world. Oh, by the way, side note, does it involve singing? Like if Kareem Flam sang? Because if I'm singing karaoke and then all of a sudden like someone's fireplace just like turns into shards of ice and impales everyone, that's super sad. Sorry, it got me thinking. Anyway. If I was stuck in a world, man, it's a really cool world. That time I got reincarnated as a slime. I like that everyone like gets leveled up and the power scaling is insane. And once you get a name, you just turn into this, super powerful creature. And I love RPG worlds. Actually, slime's cool. A lot of people sorry, spoilers. A lot of people die though. That's kind of sad. But people die in Grimgar as well. All right, erase it all. Let's just go to My Hero Academia universe where everyone has a quirk, because that'd be cool to see all these different powers. So I choose MHA.
Well, that actually leads into my next question. Is there a quirk from My Hero that you would like to have?
I don't think anyone has the quirk that I would want. Because whenever I'm asked this question, I usually say I like to have max luck, like long shot or domino.
Oh, okay.
Where like the enemy is about to kill you and then he slips on a banana peel and kills himself and you're like, yeah, got him. But like I in My Hero Academia, I feel like a really cool, I know it sounds scary and maybe just 'cause I spent so much time thinking about it, but Mirio's power permeation is pretty stinking cool, man. It sucks that you have to hold your breath and your clothes fall off and everything, and you can't hear or like see, like it sounds terrifying, but it also sounds like incredibly like liberating. I could do some spoilers for all those of you that read the manga, and the person that I would select would be the number one hero from the US of A, but I will not bring that up because
Okay.
that would just ruin things. But anyway, yeah. So I think actually, if I had to pick something in the show, permeation's pretty stinking cool.
All right. Well, this leads into my litany of Mirio questions.
Oh, perfect.
What about Mirio's personality did you identify with the most?
From Mirio's personality, he has a kind of optimism groomed from repeated failure and loss that I think is very charming, and it helps like lift others around him. He has like kind of just a good natured spirit and humor. I think the moment that really stuck out to me was when so spoilers if you haven't seen it, turn it off now, turn off podcast, but like it's when Sir NightEye has died, and Midoriya's like heartbroken, and he goes to visit Mirio in the hospital. He's like, man, I bet he's just a wreck, given that he lost everything and he lost his mentor. Like, there's no way he can be, pushing on. And he opens the door, and Mirio's freaking doing abs, doing an ab workout. And he's like, oh, hey, what's up, buddy? And like, it's that sort of never say quit, such a clear sense of self, that you can't waste time dwelling on depression and sadness when there's so much work to be done as a hero. You know what I mean? Like, I feel it's so inspiring. So I identify with that, like being in some really dark places and being like, wait a minute, and grabbing myself, not someone else, not like someone bailing you out or some like quote, you know what I mean? Like, on the wall that tells you got to keep going, like literally grabbing yourself by the scruff of the neck and pulling yourself up and being like, let's go. Like, in this case, I think it's a little bit of Sir NightEye also telling him, because he has foresight to look into his future. He's like, everything's going to be good, but you need to work hard. It's like, well, crap, I guess I'm gonna work hard. You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, identify with that kind of optimism.
All right. What do you like the most about Aries and Mirio's relationship? Because they're just the cutest.
What do I like about Eri and Mirio's relationship? I like that they are not related, but still, despite not having like any kind of blood relation, through this shared trauma and loss, because they both have lost quite a bit, come together and are able to still be there for each other. In a world where, like I said this before on other shows, but like in a world where in My Hero, where your value is more or less based on your quirk, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
For both of these people, both Eri and Mirio, whose quirks are dangerous and or gone, your value would on paper be nothing. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
people be like, no, you have nothing to offer us. And yet both of them have, I think, bar none, maybe like close to a couple others, maybe all for one, maybe one for all, like maybe, but not quite equivalent to Eri's rewind and Mirio's permeation, because it's like a metaphor for who they are. You know what I mean? Mirio says, like his quirk is one where he's literally untouchable. You can't touch him. He's always going to be in this beautiful, incredible, positive mood. And Eri represents rewind. She could literally make things that you think it's game over, it's all over. She symbolizes hope. You know what I mean? She can make things to what they were, or give you another chance. Do you know what I mean? And that is both of those metaphors, I think, together, where it's like, if you have a clear sense of self and you get another chance at life, it's like, oh, bro, they're like the wombo combo of like, any game, by the way, like, or story. So yeah, I think it's also very sweet that they, Mirio's, there's a scene where where Eri's talking about the festival, and she's moving her hands around, and Mirio's watching her, and he's copying her movement because he loves her so much. He cherishes her experience in this world. So it's like, that's really sweet. I think for Mirio, especially losing his mentor and having like a really good dad, he's like, I know what this girl needs. This girl needs like, older brother, caretaker person, and I'm going to be that person because I know what that's like.
Yes.
I've had people who love me in my life.
Older brother.
I'm going to give you that. I'm going to give you that love.
Okay. If Mirio never got his quirk back, do you still think he would work to becoming a hero?
Yes.
All right.
Next question. Easy.
What's your favorite thing about playing Lemillion?
I'm like, by the way, he was still a hero. Like you said, work hard. True. He is one. He's already been.
That is also, yeah, that's true.
Sorry, what were we saying?
What's your favorite thing about playing Lemillion?
Favorite thing about playing Lemillion? I mean, shoot, it kind of links up to the first one. It's a sort of similar question, only in that like he is a bright light. No matter, and again, spoiler free if you haven't read the manga. But whenever you see this guy like pop up, there's just this lightness that enters the room. He's literally like he's a ball of sunshine, man. But also like, let's get it done energy, which I like. I fiend on it. Makes me so. It gets me fired up. It makes me want to jump out of bed. I don't hit the snooze when Mirio's around. It's like, come on, we gotta go. Let's do it.
All right. If you could give people advice as Lemillion, what would it be?
Let's see. Kind of like permeation. It's always darkest before the dawn. Even when you fall, it's bound to be a next time where you're going to get up. That's probably what it would be. Because this whole quirk is like about falling, literally falling down in order to fly. So it's like, that's just, it's part of the process. It's got to keep pushing. Like failure is inevitable. You have to fail to get better. So that would be the advice is like, oh, you failed? Good. Keep going.
What did you enjoy most about playing Ituna from Assassination Classroom?
Oh, that's a flex. Let's see. Ituna from Assassination Classroom. I enjoyed getting to play with Sonny Straits. Sonny is a lovely actor. He plays Koro Sensei in that show. He's also famously played Krillin in Dragon Ball. Sonny is a wonderful actor, but also artist. Tremendous, like hand-drawn artist. I don't know if you're aware of that. And
I did not know that.
He's incredible. If you ever get an autograph from him, you'd be like, hey, give me a little doodle or something if you don't mind. And, man, that guy, like you would get just a work of art. But anyway, also I haven't got to take a class from him, but I heard he's a wonderful teacher as well. So yeah, getting a chance to work with Sonny and playing his brother Nissan in that show, a fellow tentacle head. It was delightful.
I just wanted to do like a what if question. If Ituna and Lemillion were to meet, how do you think the interaction would go?
Ooh, they both love ramen. Both of their that's actually a thing. They both really love ramen. I think Mirio would read Ituna perfectly because Ituna's actually very much like Eri. Even their character design, they both have white hair. They both have like really fucked up childhoods, like with not a lot of like good experience. That's the sweet thing about Ituna is he's like entering this world where he's brilliant, right?
Yeah.
But he's been hurt, and when there's like children who are trying to navigate that, they don't really have all the same social tools. But Mirio is like just a big old open heart. So they would probably get along really stinking well, to be honest with you. At the very least, eating food together.
What was it like meeting other voice actors for the first time you only worked with in a show?
You mean like, wait, sorry. Can you say it one more
time? What was it like meeting other voice actors for the first time when you worked on the show? So like you had no interaction with them, but like you met them like at a different place. Like what was that like?
So let's see. First time, man, that's hard. I'm trying to think because I've met most of my colleagues now, but remembering first times is kind of tough.
You should hear the story Monica Rial told me. It was hilarious.
Let me see. I'm trying to think of the first time I met Monica because I met Monica forever ago, but like this one's tough, to be honest with you, because it's been the first time. Okay, well, let's see. Oh no, not even that. Dude, this is stumping me. I'm having a hard time thinking of the first time I met any of my friends. It's been
we can come back to it. It's fine.
I'm too old. It's been too long.
You can come back, but I probably won't. I'll try.
We can come back to it. It's fine. Were there any lines that you improvised that they kept in the show?
Yeah, plenty. Which one? Do you want to know which show?
Let's do one.
Which show?
I don't know which show. Pick one.
Oh my god. Man,
let's just stick with My Hero because that's the main thing I know you from.
Good. Okay, we'll do My Hero Academia. Let's see. Improv line. There was a few of those when we did Trash, am I right? That one, I mean, Colleen directs that show. She plays Momo in the show. She's also Luffy in One Piece. Wonderful director. She and I, like, whenever we're just trying to capture the spirit of Mirio's sort of like upbeat, sort of like happy energy, we usually work together on it. I know the one that recently came out, if you're caught up on the show, Mirio's trying to help Class 1A because he currently cannot utilize his quirk. Spoilers. But you better have watched it if you're watching it. Anyway, but he volunteers to pretend to be a drowning victim for Class 1A to rescue. Ironically, as a kid, he almost drowned to death. So that's canon. So I'm like, can you imagine the conversation between Principal Nezu and Mirio? It's like, all right, we need volunteers to help Class 1A train, and then Mirio's like, I'll drown. I almost did that in real life. Like, it'd be hilarious. But he does. He pretends to drown. He's like, oh no, I'm one of the people that's fallen in. But I think in the Japanese, it said something to the effect of like, I sure hope someone saves me. And I changed that to, or I improvised rather. We did the line as we always do because, we want to honor the script. But
right.
I was thinking if Mirio wanted to actually, he's not the best actor, Mirio, but he's also trolling his first year friends. So it's hope I don't die, which was delightful to play. And hearing my friend Brina Palencia, who plays Minetta, going, no way, is that Togata? Like, oh man, how'd I end up in here? What's going on? It's crazy. Yeah, it's delightful.
All right. What's one of the strangest gifts you've gotten at a con?
Strangest gifts. Oh man, I wish I had my bag downstairs. I just got something over at this convention recently that was a beautiful picture. Actually, I don't know if it's strange, but it was a cool comic cell of Mirio. It looks so cool. And the gal is like, I want to also get your. I was like, are you kidding me, dude? You got, and it was all framed and shit, all nice. Like, I was like, oh my god, you spent so much money on this. So I could tell. And I was like, all right, here, I'm gonna give you one of my unframed, prints. So I did a little print swap, but she also signed her art for me. That was really sweet. I'm a big fan of art, by the way, you guys. Fan art, which I like to call fart for short. I love when you guys bring me fart. It's incredible. Actually, I have a bunch on my wall back here. But the one I think that's most strange, and I don't think it was necessarily geared for me, but I got what was it? It was a little stuffed, what was it? Fish? Some kind of creature that was very strange. Axolotl. It was something weird.
Ooh.
And very flat and odd. And I remember being like, what is this? Like, it's for you. I crocheted, I made this little felt creature for you. And I was like, all right. And for some reason, it's made its way to every convention I've been at. I just kept it in my bag and it's been there. I was like, well, I guess this little, I don't remember what I think it's like a fish. Like, I have this fish creature that's just been living in my bag. And that's been my little, no one really, every once in a while, someone asks about it. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what that's there. But yeah, it was a gift, and it's been with me.
All right. What was it like going to your first con?
As a guest or
as a guest? As a guest.
As a guest. I believe my first con was Anime Fest in Dallas. It was fun. It was really cool. I felt flattered because, and you never forget your first. I was like, no one's going to want my autograph. What is this for? But sure enough, one fella rolls up and he's dressed as my character from Grimgar of Ashes and Illusions. And I recognize him straight off every time I see him. I met him like several times now over the years. It's actually really sweet that I like have this kind of enduring relationship with these cosplayers because I don't know. I think it takes a lot of effort, dude, to like put on a whole ass costume. You know what I mean? Like, but he rolled up and he had like the dagger and the shin guards and it was all like the right color. And I was like, dude, he's like, you play Haru in the show. I was like, I I could cry right now. This is so exciting. Like, I would just wanted to have someone to talk to the show, with about the show with, but like he was dressed as a character. So obviously I was like, dude, we got to take a picture together. So we took one together. Yeah, that was I think like the sweetest thing was going to that show. I didn't really like, not a lot of people came to see me, but I had like a panel. I think like 6 people showed up. Very exciting. As time goes on, more people tend to want to show up because like, oh, I know you from this, I know you from that. But yeah, again, you never forget your OG crew of people who rolled out. My buddy Matt Grounds. Matt Grounds is an engineer, by the way, at Funimation. I was there when he first started, and he was in the crowd. He was so sweet because it's like, again, like 4 people, 5 people out there, and I'm like, Matt, what are you doing out there? I'm like, ask me questions. So, but I think my heart, like the Grinch, grows a few times over when I think about that first show, because we also played a gang load of board games, which was really fun with the convention organizer and a few other people. We had like a big lie to each other game. It was like a werewolf game called Secret Hitler. God, it was so good. Anyway, yeah, fond memories.
All right, I know we're running a little bit low on time, so let's try
Apologies.
to. No, it's fine.
Yeah, I just looked at the clock now. I'm
no,
like,
it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Lightning round. Are there any new anime roles you can tell us about?
I play Roland in the case study of Vanitas. He's a holy paladin who loves God, and he's and vampires apparently. People have called him Priest Mirio, like because he's blonde and blue eyed and super happy and like wields this incredible weapon. I'm like, oh my god, he is. So yeah, there's that character. What else? I think that's the main one for right now.
Okay.
I don't want to bring up something that I shouldn't be bringing up.
No, can't break those NDAs. What was your favorite 2021 role?
Oh my god, are you gonna let me Google this? Like, oh, I'm literally gonna type right now, Ricco Fajardo IMDb, because I forget what time different things have come out at. So pardon me while I just look myself up. Okay, 2021. The Duke of Death and his maid. Yeah, I played Zane in that. That was awesome. Let's see. 2021. Yeah, not a lot are on here, but dude, this one was a good one. In Tales of Luminaria, one of the first Tales game I've ever been in, I played Maxime Hosselmans, which was delightful. He's a bow and arrow fancy lad, which is very cool.
He's a fancy lad. Okay, what's one of your favorite things about being a voice actor?
So being a voice actor specifically and recording from home, I can be like naked in the booth or be wearing like underwear. Just super relaxed. I don't got cameras in there. Keep them out. I mean, there is one, but I never turn it on.
What's one of the...
I'm just kidding.
Unless...
I'm joking.
What's one of the hardest things about being a voice actor?
Hardest things? Vocal fatigue. If you're screaming your butt off all day long and then you get all super tired, it kind of stinks because then you go to hang out with friends and you can't talk. Or you're not allowed to. You shouldn't. You know what I mean? So like everyone's partying and you're like...
What was it like playing a character as ruthless as Jackel from Fairytale?
It was very fun. I've never had so many fans hate me. Like they approach me and they're like, I don't like Jackel because he's one of the only villains to permakill someone in Fairytale, which is really cool. Because in a world, where like magic is a thing, you bring back people. Jackel's like, nope, I blew you to bits, which is really cool. Yeah. It was really, I think that was the big part, is the fandom being like, he's mean and messed up. I was like, yeah.
Are there any powers from Fairytale you wish you had?
I mean, Natsu eating fire is pretty cool. Dude, I mean, just casting magic in general. I'm not a Potterhead. I'm not the, wands and wizard guy, but that sounds really cool. Like just to have like the ability to cast magic. I watch a lot of, like obviously I'm in Black Clover. I play Nozel Silva on Black Clover, the captain of the Silver Eagles. And I think about magic. I think what would it be like to like, change the world with just like, magic. So I would just say general spell casting of any
general
kind.
Spell casting. Okay. Did you ever record a scene that made you cry genuine tears of joy or sadness?
Oh, plenty of times. I think of Grimgar, spoilers. for Grimgar of Ashes and Illusions, but my good pal Monato dies saving the party. Just wept over and over again. I recently recorded a show that I don't know if I'm an NDA on, but like man, it was hard. It was like most of my stuff is just like horrible loss. And my buddy Austin Sisk was working with me, and he was like such a G about it. We actually like, I'm not rolling, like I don't mean to, because Austin's like a really great guy, but like we were crying together because we started sharing stories about like the people we've lost and just started like weeping like children together. It was incredible, because it's like it's man, it's a puts your heart through the ringer. Obviously in My Hero Academia, like with Sir NightEye, I mean, yeah, like crying, but like crying is only the inability to articulate how you feel, because words fail you with loss or that kind of happiness. You know what I mean? It always makes me laugh when actors are like, I can cry. I'm like, okay, but can you act? You know what I mean? Like crying doesn't really matter personally, but like I think some people think it's like a badge of honor. Like, look, I've achieved this place. I'm like,
yeah, no, I can't cry on cue. I can't.
It's not. It doesn't. It's not. To me, it means nothing other than like, you know, I'm in the booth and I'm having this experience. I'm like, cool, yeah, we're there. But like, again, tears are a result of not being able to communicate. And like, I think words, honestly, saying words is more powerful than any amount of tears, personally.
All right. Do you have any funny, embarrassing booth stories for us?
Funny, embarrassing. So funny or embarrassing, or funny hyphen embarrassing?
Funny hyphen embarrassing.
Okay. I guess with when I played Kotaro Tatsumi in Zombieland Saga, I would work so hard on that stinking roll. I would, every time I would leave the booth, I would have pit stains down to my like, dude, I sweat through my shirt thoroughly. Like it looked like I had a workout. You guys, Zombieland Saga, Kotaro Tatsumi is played by Miyano Mamoru in the J, like one of the finest Japanese voice actors out there. And he's a delight to play across from. He's also like a J-pop star, like wonderful voice. And I'm flattered that I get to work across from his, like, you know, a couple times I got to do it for Millionaire Detective and then Zombieland Saga. So yeah, that one. And then also I got locked in the booth, which sucks.
No.
If you look up hashtag free Ricco, you'll see it. But yeah, I had to pick the lock to get out. It was cool.
Oh, no.
I'm a rogue.
All right. Do you have any roles that you watch the sub first and draw inspiration from the original performance before you start recording?
For anime,
yes.
we typically always watch this. I mean, like we have the Japanese materials usually beforehand. If it's prelay animation, that's really cool, because then they like record our face and they'll like animate to our face, which is really neat. And you can have a little more freedom. But usually when we're doing anime, we'll have the Japanese or the Chinese or the Portuguese, whatever, Spanish, whatever it happens to be, beforehand. And yeah, you'll hear the actor before. But for me, I just like to hear I'm a very musical guy. I like to hear the way they're singing the lines, like where they're putting the heart, the resonance of the line. And I let that inspire me. Sometimes I'm like, I think it's like this. And so, you know, like, but we're still saying the same thing. It's right. Just like sometimes in Chinese, if I go, sure, that'll mean one thing. And then, in English, you're like, I don't know what that meant. I don't know what you meant. But like, in Chinese, that might be highly offensive, or it might be a sign of, that intonation sounds romantic, whatever it happens to be. So like, obviously I would have to do something different in the English so it translates, but yeah, definitely always taking inspiration. More than anything, it's always about the text, though. More words than the other actor. But I'm like, they're my homeboy. It's like two people playing Hamlet. It's like, what'd you do? Cool, right on. Well, here's what I'm going to
do. All right, so we're going to combine these next three questions. What got you into acting? Did you always want to be a voice actor? And what advice can you give to future voice actors?
Okay, you have to walk me through this. But what got me into acting?
Yes.
I was failing horribly in school because I moved around a bunch and I was getting terrible grades. So when I
Oh,
transferred
no.
from California to Nevada, I lost a bunch of credits. I was like an honors student, but then when I changed school districts, I lost like 14 of my credits,
Oh
which
my
meant I
God.
had to immediately take intercession and summer school courses, and they needed to be like A's no matter what. So my counselor was like, we're going to give you like basic classes. Choose the ones that you know you're going to get an A in, like theater. So I took theater as a junior in high school. Brent Matthews, my first acting teacher, when after I'd done some plays with him, like Rumors, that I was talking about, my first play that I ever did, he told me as a senior in high school when I was graduating, he wrote me a letter and he said, if you have a desire to do acting, Ricco, I want to be the first person to tell you. I want to be, I want to stand by the statement and say, I believe you can do it. And after that, that is like the seedling that really spurred off so much for me. So that's how it started. And then what was the second question?
Did you always want to be a voice actor?
Did I always want to be? No. What was the third question?
What advice could you give to future voice actors?
What advice I want to give to future voice actors? If anything, I will say actually to that second question, like voice acting just seemed like another form of acting. Like it sounds fine to be cool, but like I prefer to use my whole body. But then I found out voice acting, you can use your whole body with motion capture and all this other stuff. So yeah. But yeah, the answer in short to that was no. And then the last one again.
What advice could you give to future voice actors?
I could give what advice? So much advice.
Again,
I guess okay, like what? Okay, yeah, like but it's so this is
I guess
tough because
I guess like in regards to auditioning, because a lot of people always get like discouraged at first when you're first starting out.
Okay, so first lesson, specificity, because that will set you free in so many ways. It makes you relax. You might think that when you specify on something, it takes away the magic. Incorrect. Specifying allows you to play with more liberty. It frees you up when you realize, oh, we're playing football. If I say we're playing a game, you're like, what game, right? But if I specify we're playing football, you at least know we're playing a game. There's two teams and we're trying to get points, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I specify further and I say you're the quarterback, you're like, oh, dope, I'm throwing the ball or I'm handing it off, right? You start to get more specific. But if I was a director or a writer and all I said is you're playing a game, you're like, cool. You're like floating in the wilderness, right? So specificity is important as an actor in all regards. That said, you did specify the question by saying like getting defeated or feeling kind of down after an audition. I used to do sales for a long, long time. And the thing that I always remember is that the best salespeople in the world, these people are rock stars. They could sell, ice to an Eskimo kind of deal, I think is the expression. They only succeed 25% of the time. They're rock stars. They're incredible. So what will someone like you do, right? Like a regular run-of-the-mill person. Your stats are going to be lower, but you have to know that the best are already failing 75% of the time. But that metric only applies, that formula only applies if you're giving 100% every time. So my lesson from doing sales for so long was like, you can't half step it. You can't let anything get in between you and the performance, including feeling defeated. Feeling defeated, what is that? That has no room in the playroom. Defeated? I don't know defeated. Is that on the script? Am I playing defeated? No. That has no, get that out of here. It's the Shaq meme where he's just pushing it away. It's like, get that out of here, dude. That's a waste of your time, waste of your energy. And as an actor, that is your most important resource that you have, because you might have a lot of it, like me, or you might have a little of it, like a lot of my colleagues I could cite, but I don't like Aaron Dismuke, my buddy. He has energy, but he definitely has a certain amount that he kind of doles out in certain ways. But you have to be specific about where you're putting it, because once you learn, Shakespeare said, know thyself. Once you know yourself and what you're able to do with your energy and what you have left to learn, right? And what you do know, you're in the perfect spot. But you should always know you're going to fail at the ultimate, at the alpha version of you, the pinnacle apex version of you, Apex Legends version of you. you're only going to succeed 25% of the time. So knowing that, you should not let defeat get in your way. Defeat is just one more stepping stone. The only way it's really defeat, only way it's a real L is if you didn't learn from it. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's the last part of the question. So that kind of takes me out of time too. So
yeah, no, that's perfectly fine. Thank you so much for doing this with me. This was great.
I love talking about this kind of stuff. And so it's also extra special that it's you because we've had conversations already.
Yes.
And I know you're on your acting journey. So keep it up. I don't want to open this up to like the world, but my DMs are open on Instagram and Twitter. And if you have acting questions, send them me weird pictures and maybe not that. But yeah, like if you truly, guys, I love acting, and we're all finding inspiration in different ways. But if you have like a craft question, feel free to shoot it at me. So
yes, thank you again for doing this. Please DM me when you finally download Apex and tell me when you're playing Prop and Seek because I'm still waiting for that.
I know. I think I was just meditating, doing like a big ol' community stream. So for all the people that are, have been kind of waiting in the wings, I'm like, let's do like a 30-person Prop and Seek. But anyway, yeah, it's going to be effing hilarious. I'm excited.
I hope you have, when you're traveling somewhere, you had like a session to get to.
I have errands I need to run that are critical. Okay. I'm already late for it, but it's okay. They'll wait for me. So,
all right. Well, I don't want to keep you from your errands anymore, but thank you again for doing this. I hope you have a wonderful day. Hopefully we'll see each other at a con again soon enough.
No doubt. Yeah, I'm doing a lot of them. So again, if you want to see me at a show, feel free to request me and just tell them they can DM me as well. All right. It was nice talking to you.
It's nice talking to you too. Bye.